Well, afterwards I'm going to be speaking about discipleship, because that's the theme that we're running at the moment, but discipleship in the family. So I thought, who else has got family but Kay? So I was thinking about what to ask. And, how do you disciple family? It's hard work. When I became a Christian, my children were 6, 7, and 9. So I was learning at the same time as trying to teach my children. I don't know that I got it all right, but I did my best. But Kay, how did you disciple your children? Because you were born into a Christian family, you were already Christian.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I've got 4 children. The youngest is now 21. I do want to say I am not the perfect parent, and I did not do everything right. And I'm sure if my children watch this, they can tell you of all the mistakes that I made. So please do not hear that I am the perfect parent. Do you know, I was thinking, I went to a seminar on discipling children a few years ago, and I thought, I can't separate discipleship from parenting and bringing them up, because it's very similar. So if you're telling your child to do something, you're gonna want them to do it then and straight away, and you have to train your child to do that. God trains us in obedience, doesn't he? God trains us in so many ways. Sticking to what you said that you were going to do is another thing. If you say you're going to do it, you do it. That was something we brought our children up in. We really discouraged lying and things like that. That's another thing that God does. So it came all the way in discipleship. And then as for them seeing Christianity and things, you've got to be real with God 100% of your life, because there's no pretense when you've got children. We all know that children will notice the slightest little thing, and they will notice the inconsistencies. Not only that, they also announce it in a loud voice. So your only chance is just to be who you are in Jesus all the time. And just to keep praying and praying and praying for your children. And those little moments where you talk to your children about various things, they come up in the day-to-day, always at the most inconvenient time. Always when you're in the supermarket queue or putting them to bed or whatever. And you can't pencil them in. They just come up as and when. And so there was a lot of, whenever your kids go through things and talk about things, you talk about how you would react or how God would want them to react as you go along. My parents were not Christian at all, still aren't. And so I didn't have a good example of my parents to follow as Christian parents. But they were very good parents, and we were well-disciplined. Bit harsh at times, but well-disciplined. But in our church, there was a couple who had children who were 5 or 6 years older than us, and they were doing a really good job with their children. So we watched them, and we took advice from them, and we emulated them. So that was really good. But also, I learned to obey my parents, just as you'd learn to obey God's. I learned to do what I was told, etc., etc. And when I was about 18 or so, I wanted to go to Bible college, and my mum and dad wanted me to continue doing the training scheme that I was doing in work and finish my qualifications. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go to Bible college because I knew that I wouldn't be working in that anymore. But God told me to obey my parents. And so God used my non-Christian parents to disciple me. And there's all sorts of things. You learn grace by rubbing up against each other in non-Christian families and in Christian families, mixing with people all over the place. You learn grace because sometimes you've just got to choose grace and patience, and there is no other option, and you'd rather not. But actually, that's the funny thing about family, is you can't walk away from family. So it's tough luck. You've got to lean into God.
did you manage your personal discipleship walk when the kids are in white? They're climbing the walls. They're doing everything that you know what? Normal children are crazy. They are, aren't they? They will do everything. They are. I'm going a bit off here now, but it is relevant. I remember meeting Neville one year in conference. Now, the last time I'd seen him, it was like they just got married and they weren't ready for children. Now, he'd got children. It was many years later. And I'm having a conversation with this man who's got children swinging off him. He's got one wrapped round his legs, one on his arms. They're hanging off him. And you know what? He never blinked. He never blinked. How did you manage that?
My children were wild, just like everyone else's. Okay, my children are normal children. They were not angels at all. In the moment when they're going bananas and all that, I probably have shouted at them at times. And actually, it's quite an interesting thing that for me as a parent, if I do something wrong or I'm a bit over the top, I will apologise to my children because I'm not showing them perfection standard that it's hypocritical. I'm showing them that I need God's grace and help as well. There's an absolute howler I've got to tell you about. It's not quite in relation to this, but I think I should say it. There was a guy, I was at a junction trying to pull out and there was a bus in the way so I couldn't see. So this guy behind me was beeping the horn and beeping the horn and beeping the horn and it was a horrible situation. So I got out of the junction, stopped my car and got out to talk to the guy and have an argument with him. How stupid! I mean, how stupid? And I did talk to my children afterwards. Mummy didn't quite do the right thing there, did she? And that was a learning thing. And yeah, I had to do that. I think for me, the discipleship doesn't come in those crash moments. The discipleship comes in making sure that I'm not too tired, making sure I'm reading my Bible and praying at other times, and making sure that my life had a good foundation, because you can't just get it automatically, mysteriously, mystically in an instant when your child goes bananas. You've got to have that work put in and you've got to have that foundation. So I do things like I'd pray as I was walking out with the children. I'd pray when I was doing the dishes. I'd read my Bible when I could, probably at night when they'd gone to bed. And I just put in prayer whenever I could. And there wasn't a regular, I'll pray at 7 o'clock every morning type thing. I just prayed when I could and just read my Bible when I could. And obviously I tried to make it regular and I kept going to church and things like that.
Your children are all grown up now. The baby's 21.
Wow. Do you know, one of the biggest shocks to me was that as a parent, it doesn't stop when they turn 18. And I've not stopped being a parent since they turned 18 because they don't automatically switch on that button and they're an adult at 18. I've learned that they still really need your guidance and your help and they need your input and they value that. And the nice thing is our children actually come to us and talk to us and ask us for that input. Obviously, we really pray for them. And we need God's grace in working out relationships as well. We're 6 different individuals in our family. So, of course, there's arguments. Of course, we don't always get on right. And we still need to apply the principles of forgiveness and patience and love and putting up with each other. And I'm just talking about Neville. No. All the principles of discipleship keep on going. And yes, we do still pray with our children about things now. So yeah, it's still happening, but it's a less hands-on and there's more of a wait until they come and ask us. But yes, we do offer advice as well. You can't do it on your own strength. You've got to lean on God.